Toothless has broken every rule of a standard Night Fury, from strong alpha mode and control to extreme electrical resistance, leading fans to speculate and theorize intensely. You see, Toothless is the last of his kind, the best of his kind, and most importantly, the purest of his kind, the apex dragon. But what if that wasn't the complete truth? What if Toothless wasn't as pure a Night Fury as they say he is? What if the most powerful dragon in the entirety of the How to Train Your Dragon universe is actually something far more intricate, sophisticated, and complex than what meets the eye? In today's video, we're diving into one of the darkest theories of the entire How to Train Your Dragon franchise, as we're going to see what if Toothless was a hybrid between a Night Fury and a Skrill. So make sure to stick with us till the very end, because it'll get dark really quick. Wait, but how? Well, long before hybrids were even a part of the canon of How to Train Your Dragon, Toothless stood apart from every dragon we had seen before. I mean, think about it. Toothless is faster, smarter, and above all, equipped with a set of skills so unique that even Grimmel, a so-called dragon expert, was left confused. When Toothless showcased his ability to use lightning as a cloaking mechanic and to electrocute nearby enemies, even Grimmel was left at a loss for words, which proves one of two things. Grimmel is a liar and didn't kill the last of the Night Furies at all, which is another video on its own. Comment down below if you'd like to see that. Or this ability wasn't associated with Night Furies at all, aligning more with, you guessed it, Skrills. Skrills don't merely withstand lightning, they thrive on it. In canon, they take in electrical energy from storms, keeping it within their bodies, and use it to become faster, stronger, and more aggressive when struck by lightning. For them, electricity is not a side effect, it's the real deal. Keep that in mind because Night Furies aren't described that way. Night Furies are plasma-based. Their firepower does not derive from storms or any environmental electricity. It's all internal ignition. And yet Toothless continuously treats lightning just the same way as a Skrill would. In storms, he becomes faster, his blast becomes stronger, and he visibly channels electrical energy through his body instinctively. So if lightning isn't supposed to be a Night Fury trait, why does Toothless handle it like it is? Well, to answer that, we need to understand two things: Toothless anatomy, and above all, how he uses his abilities. Let's start with that. Toothless doesn't just utilize plasma, he supercharges it by merging lightning and plasma into single amplified blasts. Not to mention the fact that Toothless is the only dragon who has resisted mind control for longer than any dragon we've seen before. But that still doesn't raise as many eyebrows as the fact that Toothless can be seen using his electrical surges to overpower alpha dragons. That's not just impressive, that's a problem. You see, if Toothless were just a Night Fury, he would be nothing more than a plasma-based dragon. It's only when you stop seeing Toothless as a plasma-based dragon that everything clicks into place. But what about his anatomy, you ask? Well, Toothless isn't just different in what he can do, he's different in how he's built. He has fully retractable teeth, something no other dragon species clearly displays in the same way. When he's calm, they disappear. When he's threatened, they snap into place. That's not just intimidation, that's controlled by biology. His body is limber, almost cat-like. He doesn't move like a reptile, but more like some sort of predator built for speed, built for precision, built for sudden bursts of power. And then there are his scales. During storm scenes, they seem more reflective, reacting to light differently, especially when there's lightning. Even his eyes change, adjusting in the high energy moments in a way we don't consistently see in other dragons. These details may appear subtle to the common viewer, but that's what these big production animation teams intend. You see, animation teams don't just add subtle details by accident. Toothless isn't just animated to look cool, he's animated to look different. But this raises an even bigger question. How can a Night Fury Skrill hybrid even exist? Well, dear viewer, this is the point where the theory gets dark. Night Furies and Skrills both have one thing in common. They're both extremely rare. Both creatures avoid humans. Both live in hostile, isolated environments, and both are presumed to be solitary by nature. Now add in extinction. If Grimmel really did hunt Night Furies to near extinction, one could probably survive by doing the unthinkable, breeding outside its species. Not from choice, but desperation. The result? A creature designed for greatness but trapped by invisible shackles. A creature left to struggle with his identity through many trials and tribulations. Too smart for the Skrills and too different for the Night Furies. Left to be raised by himself in the darkness. A dragon without a tribe. This would explain something far more crucial. Why Toothless bonds so deeply with Hiccup. Toothless' attachment to Hiccup isn't just rare, it's unheard of. Toothless doesn't just put up with Hiccup, he picks him time after time. No hesitation, no gut fear, just an instinct. And when you combine this with the fact that Toothless never had a tribe nor a place to call home, truly, that choice is heart-wrenching. This isn't just friendship, this isn't just loyalty. Hiccup isn't just a rider, he's Toothless' first family. The only one who gave him a home, the only one who gave him purpose. And that connotation changes everything. That bond with Hiccup is what saved Toothless, but not in the sight of everyone. To Grimmel, Toothless is nothing special, he's just one who got away. Just another target. Grimmel had hunted Night Furies to near extinction, and here's the twist. If Toothless isn't a pure Night Fury, if he carries Skrill blood, Grimmel wouldn't even recognize him. Toothless wasn't just hiding, he was falling through the cracks of Grimmel's knowledge. A hybrid predator who doesn't fall into any category. And that's exactly what makes him so dangerous. And that's exactly what makes Toothless so impossible to catch. Every strategy Grimmel has ever planned against a regular Night Fury now falls apart in the sight of Toothless. Toothless is faster, smarter, and above all, far more adaptive to Grimmel's strategies, learning from his every trial, anticipating attacks before they even occur, and turning lightning into weaponry, something Grimmel had never seen in his life. And that's why Grimmel fails, not for lack of skill, but because Toothless is outside of his understanding. Grimmel can track, catch, and kill all the rest, but a crossbreed like Toothless, he plays on another level. Every meeting teaches Grimmel the same lesson. Every try fails, every trap misses. Toothless doesn't just survive, he thrives. This isn't luck, this is not by chance. This is because of his peculiar characteristics. Toothless is designed to be unpredictable and uncatchable by those who think they have a read on him. Not even the best dragon hunter stands a chance against a hybrid like him. But here's something about Toothless that has never sat right. He doesn't fight like other dragons who seek to establish dominance. He doesn't posture, he doesn't brutalize, he doesn't rule by fear. He simply comes, and the world rearranges itself to fit him. When Toothless challenges the Red Death, he's not the largest dragon in the sky. He's not the strongest. He doesn't beat it through raw size or intimidation. He beats it through mastery and maneuvering. This is the first red flag. In the dragon world, alphas are not elected, they survived. Now let's talk about the Bewilderbeast, a creature that holds sway over dragons merely by imposing its will. It dominates them physically. Whole armies fall into line just at his word. Even fully matured alphas submit instinctively. Now the Bewilderbeast is a being that has never seen an equal before, except maybe among its own kind, controlling dragons by sheer psychic dominance. Whole armies fall in line with just a word. Even fully grown alphas submit by instinct, but not Toothless. He does try to fight, yes, but his resistance is unlike any other dragon's, not by strength, but by will. And such resistance shouldn't be possible, not unless Toothless isn't operating on the same biological rules as everyone else. Let's move on to the hidden world, because if Toothless is a hybrid, everything about his final choice changes. In the original timeline, Toothless leaving the surface world is framed as bittersweet, a necessary sacrifice. Dragons and humans part ways so both can survive. But in this timeline, it's no longer just about safety, it's about belonging. Because a hybrid like Toothless doesn't fully belong anywhere. Above ground, he's too strong, too risky, too wild. People already feared Night Furies. Now think about them finding out that Toothless can take in lightning, control storms, and become even more deadly in the worst situations possible. He just wouldn't be understood. Other Night Furies, if any others still existed, would likely consider him something unnatural, something changed, something that doesn't quite fit into their hierarchy. But in the hidden world, that place changes meaning entirely. It becomes the one spot that can take in a mixed top hunter, a place large enough, wild enough, and blocked off enough for a creature like Toothless to stay without making problems all around him. Next, let's talk about the Nightlights. They're not just adorable, they're evolutionary. In the original timeline, the Nightlights are supposed to be symbols of hope, a combination of Night Fury and Light Fury, the new generation. But what if Toothless does carry Skrill DNA? Then these dragons aren't meant to share hybrids alone. They'd be evolution. They would carry with them the intelligence and stealth capability of a Night Fury, Light Fury adaptability and camouflage, Skrill lightning affinity, as well as storm synchronization. These wouldn't be dragons that simply survived. They would thrive where no other species could, in volcanic storms, electrical skies, and unstable environments. Most importantly, if Toothless is a hybrid, he was never truly the last. He was the very first. For the entire franchise, Toothless is framed as the last of his kind, the final Night Fury, the end of a story. But if he's a hybrid, then that was never true. Toothless isn't the end of a lineage, he's the prototype of a new one. The first successful fusion of two apex species, the first dragon capable of bridging multiple evolutionary paths at once. And his children? They aren't echoes of the past, they're the future of dragons, a future so powerful that it cannot coexist with humanity, not yet at least. This reframes the ending in a haunting way. Dragons didn't leave because they were weak, they left because they were becoming too powerful. That's why this theory makes the ending of the hidden world strike so hard. Toothless doesn't leave Hiccup behind. He's doing what Hiccup always used to do for him, building a world where his kind can live without fear. But now, that kind isn't Night Furies, it's something new entirely. And somewhere deep beneath the sea, surrounded by lightning caverns and endless sky, a lineage begins, a new one that humankind will someday find again. Not as myths, but as something much more frightening. So what do you think? Is Toothless truly the last Night Fury, or is he something far more rare? A fusion of two legendary dragons born at the edge of extinction. Would this theory enhance Toothless' legacy or undermine it? Please share your thoughts in the comments down below. And while you're here, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons. To watch another cool How to Train Your Dragon video, click on the video that's appearing on your screen. Go ahead, click it.